Hello and welcome to Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. My name is Kelly and I'm a former wedding planner and blogger, and I'm obsessed with weddings. If you're planning a wedding in Ireland, you're in the right place. You're going to learn the tried and tested methods to planning your dream wedding without the added stress. Think of this as your one-stop shop for everything to do with planning your wedding in Ireland. With me, your new wedding planning bestie, and a cup of tea. This is Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. Well, hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. My name is Kelly and I have a really cool episode in store for you today because we're talking all about the things that you've got to do the night before your wedding. So think of this as your checklist of all the things that are going to help prepare you for a magical, special wedding day. So imagine it is the night before your wedding, and for some of you listening, it may very well be the night before your wedding, and you're listening to it now in preparation. What I want you to do is to be relaxed and rested. I want you to have a good night's sleep so that when you wake up on the morning of your wedding, the only thing you need to think about is getting ready and getting married, and that's it. So for tonight and for tomorrow, there's no wedding planning tasks. We don't want to be doing any admin. We don't want to be, chasing people at the last minute. None of that. So the things that we're going to be doing on the night before our wedding will be things that prepare us for the day. They're not admin tasks. So my first tip for you is to make sure that you are not planning on doing any wedding admin or wedding tasks on the night before your wedding. Plan in such a way that everything's done before that. I'll share what I did the night before my wedding. So my now husband and I decided that we were going to stay with our parents. So he stayed with his parents as he had been doing. I stayed with my parents. I think I stayed with my parents. Oh, I didn't. I visited my parents and then I went to my home that my husband and I lived in together. But I went to my parents and we just had a meal together. It was very relaxed, very chilled. And it was just lovely to have some family time. And right before I left to go to my parents, my now husband and I were sitting and just talking through some of the wedding stuff that we had happening the next day. And I realized that there were still tasks to be done. I can't remember now what those tasks were, but they felt so urgent in the moment, but actually they weren't. We had done the main stuff and we had people who were in charge of different things on the day. And so anything that wasn't 100% finalized, someone would figure it out. And so we ended up just deciding to figure it out. I think from memory, the things that we hadn't quite nailed were some honeymoon related things, because our plan was to get married, stay in a nearby hotel for 2 nights, and then fly to our honeymoon. And so we hadn't quite figured things out, but we realized that we would have a little bit of time after the wedding and before flying. And so we decided that because it was the night before the wedding, we weren't going to stress ourselves out about it. So that's my advice to you, is not to stress out about stuff. If there's anything that's not 100% done, but you know someone else is looking after it for you, like your wedding planner, your venue coordinator, maybe it's your maid of honor or your mom or another person who's close to you who knows what's happening on the day, they will be able to fill in the gaps if there's something that you haven't fully released. So with that in mind, let's go through the checklist of everything that you want to do the night before your wedding. And remember, this is to prepare you for the day. It's not to stress you out now thinking of hundreds of things that need to get done, but this is actually to help you unwind and be completely prepared and ready. So I'm going to roll through these very quickly. Item number 1, eat a healthy meal. You want to stay away from greasy food and processed things, anything oily, anything full of cheese, anything with caffeine, something that's going to keep you up at night or make you feel bloated and puffy and uncomfortable. Stay away from it. Have something that is nutritious that's going to help you to have a good night's rest and energy the next day. You will know what those things are for you, but it's normally a combination of lean protein and, colorful vegetables, not too many carbs and not too much oil and cheese and processed things. So plan ahead so you've got something nutritious and healthy to have the night before your wedding. Next thing you want to do is pack your bag of personal items. So these will be anything that you're going to need with you at the wedding. You won't be the person carrying that bag around. Someone else will carry it for you, or they will store it somewhere where, someone can go and grab items that you need. So have a think about anything that you might want to have accessible to you during the day. Now, for you, that could be, whatever you're planning on wearing when you're getting ready. So your bridal robe, pajamas, any accessories that you're going to be wearing once you're fully dressed for the wedding. It could be your makeup that you're going to carry around for touch-ups later in the day, like your lipstick and that kind of thing. Those types of things, pack that all in a bag now so that it's all there, all ready. And if you realize that you're missing something, you can get someone to go to the shop for you on the morning of your wedding and pick up something for you. So pack the night before, make sure you've got everything ready. Consider anything that you might want to have with you during the wedding festivities. So it could be, a change of shoes if you think your feet will get sore during the dancing. If you have a second outfit that you're going to wear later in the day, pack that as well. Just have everything neatly packed and ready to go, because you don't want to be packing things on the morning of your wedding. Next thing I want you to do is drink lots of water. You don't want to be dehydrated. You want to have lots of water in your system. You don't want to get headaches because of the heat or the stress. So if you're having lots of water, you can make sure that you're not dehydrated, and you will thank me for it after your wedding, I'm telling you. Get a good night's rest, or at least try. So if you normally go to bed at 11 o'clock at night, for example, don't choose today as the day you're going to go to bed at 1 p.m. You want to have some kind of routine. You're probably going to have some jitters or nerves. There's going to be something that makes it a little bit difficult to fall asleep because you're going to be very excited. And so it's probably not going to be the normal routine that you have. But if you can try and make yourself feel as normal as possible, you're setting yourself up for more of a chance of falling asleep, having a deep sleep, and waking up feeling refreshed and full of energy. And this is especially important if you know that you're up early for hair and makeup and it's just going to be go, go, go for the whole wedding day. So do your best to get as much rest as you can. Next thing I want you to do, which will help you to stay rested, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. I don't want you to be checking any notifications, don't want you checking your emails, don't want you scrolling through Reels and TikTok videos all night, because that blue light is going to impact your sleep. Any notifications that you get are probably going to feel triggering to you, whether they're about the wedding or not. It might be that you are going on annual leave right after the wedding so that you can have some time out. You might get notifications about work. There may be some, newsletters that you subscribe to for work-related things, and they pop up on your phone, and when you see it, it just gets you thinking about work or different things. You just don't want to be in any kind of space where you're bringing on any stress. So put your phone on Do Not Disturb and do your best to avoid scrolling as much as you can. In fact, I would say this is probably something you could be doing on a regular night anyway. So Do Not Disturb is a great setting. If you've never used it before, if you've got an iPhone, go to the top right corner of your screen, swipe down, and you'll see a button that says Do Not Disturb. And basically what that means is somebody could send you a message or an email. They could even phone you. And as far as they know, your phone is still on, but you don't get notified. So your phone won't ring or buzz or anything unless you're holding it and looking at your phone. It's amazing. I use it all the time. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Don't do any wedding tasks. So that's not an item for you to do on your night before your wedding. It's something for you not to do. So make sure that you are not doing any wedding tasks. No packing up decor, no labeling things, no tying ribbons onto your wedding favors or packing mass booklets. None of that should be done the night before your wedding, at least not by you. So make sure you're not doing anything wedding related. Here's something you can do. Pack the car. So if there's anything that you are taking with you to the wedding, such as the bag that we mentioned earlier with the things that you're going to be wearing on the day, your bridal robes, accessories, all of that kind of thing, you can pack that bag and then put it in the car so that on the morning of the wedding, you're really just getting in the car and going, and you don't need to think about if you've left anything behind. Speaking of things you might want to pack, you could gather your emergency wedding kit. So that is something, this isn't something to stress you out. You might be going, oh my word, what is the emergency kit? Why haven't I thought of this? It's the night before my wedding. It's things that you probably already have at home that you might need on the day. Things like painkillers if you might get a headache, could be plasters if you get blisters, maybe safety pins. There's always a need for safety pins at some point. Could be hair clips or gum, breath mints, those types of things that you've probably already got. You just want to gather them, put them in your bag. You could then pack them in the car. That's something that your bridesmaids could carry for you during the day. So if you need those types of things, it's not somewhere in a hotel room, buried in a bag. Someone's got it easily accessible for you. Now, this is one way to make sure you have a very relaxed evening, and that is to watch something that will make you laugh. Pick a movie that you love, something funny, a comedy show or just a romantic comedy, just something that you know is going to make you laugh, because laughing will help you to stay relaxed and stress-free, which is exactly how you should be the night before your wedding. While you're watching that movie, how about pampering yourself? Could be a mini facial, it could be something like a hand massage, or you could take a hot bath, whatever it is that helps you to de-stress and relax. My only tip is not to try anything new for the first time the night before your wedding. Things like a facial that you've never done or a face mask that you've never used before. You just don't want to do anything that's going to react to your skin in a way that is that you can't undo. So pamper yourself gently, and it will help you to relax. Something that you should do is choose somebody else to be the point of contact on your wedding day, because you don't want to be worrying about things like lost guests who don't know where they're going, suppliers who arrive but don't know where to set up, gifts being brought in and where they're going after the wedding. You don't want to be thinking about that. So have a point of contact, somebody who's going to be with you while you're getting ready. So if anybody needs to contact you or anyone in your part of the wedding party, there's someone there who'll pick up the phone. And then, of course, you will have your wedding planner or your venue coordinator covering everything to do with that side of things. But just make sure ahead of time that someone else is in charge so that you don't have to worry about answering the phone and dealing with anything on the wedding day. Here's something else you can do the night before your wedding. Practice your vows, and if you're doing a speech, you can practice that too. You don't want to feel like you've got to memorize everything, but it's handy if you've got some notes before the wedding day that you can just quickly run through. Just make sure that you are familiar with the vows so you don't get tongue-tied. You can just rehearse just with yourself. You don't have to spend all night doing it, just a couple of times to make sure you feel comfortable and confident and you are ready to share vows with your other half. And how about spending some alone time with your partner? Now, before all the excitement, check in with your partner, remind them that they're the only thing that matters. You can do it in any way. It could be spending the night together if that's something you want to do, and then in the morning going your separate ways. It could mean spending the night separately, but you have a phone call together or you have dinner together before you go your separate ways. Pick something that works for you and your other half. But remember that the whole wedding is about you guys. It's about your love. It's about your relationship and declaring vows and making promises in front of those that you love. And so you want to make sure that before everything kicks off and before the excitement arrives, that you and your partner have had some time together. And so that you know that this is about you guys. 2 more things for you. Next is charge your phone. So you probably won't use it all that much on the day. You're going to be very much, preoccupied with getting married and saying hello to everyone. But you don't want your battery to die on your wedding day, just in case somebody has your phone and they're grabbing photos for you. And finally, take a deep breath. Just allow yourself to be in a space where you are relaxed, you're rested, you're not stressed. And if you are feeling anxious about anything to do with the wedding, I advise you to listen to our guided meditation. It's an episode that we recorded a few weeks ago. I'm going to drop a link to that. It's got some breathing techniques. It's called the 3-4-5 breathing that will help you to just actually center yourself a little bit. We've got some visualizations to help remind you of everything that your wedding day is about, and some affirmations to just help you to get your mind ready for the wedding day. So I hope that helps you to feel ready to get married. I hope that you are already feeling less stressed and less worried about the wedding, because it's all going to turn out perfectly. Well, thank you for listening today. The Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online podcast is produced by me, Kelly, and mixed, mastered, and edited by Glenn Hartman. For more wedding planning tips, advice, checklists, and more, visit weddingsonline.ie.